Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers, and in today's video I'm going to tell you how to choose which ND filter you need. Now, if you've got a situation where you can't control all three elements of the exposure triangle, for instance, I quite often film with a drone or a GoPro and the aperture is fixed. Or it might be you just want to go out and take a long exposure with your DSLR and it's beyond the limits of the apertures you can set to get the timing that you need. For instance, you might be right up at f22, the narrowest aperture on your camera, and you're still at a 20th of a second and really you want 2 or 3 seconds. So how do you get around that? Well, you use an ND filter, and it's particularly useful for things like drones. I bought the Fly More combo and it came with a set of 4 ND filters. But which one should I choose on the day? You know, the lighting conditions can change. And fortunately, I discovered a great app that will help you. Now, it's called Photo Friend, and simply let me open up the app. So what you do is then with the app you touch on the screen where the image is and take a photo. Now make sure the photo you're taking is representative of the lighting conditions you're going to be filming in. And then there's a series of scales at the bottom of the screen. Now, we don't need to worry about the bottom two. They are there to help you calculate things like depth of field. What we're interested in is, first of all, make sure the aperture is set to whatever your drone or whatever camera you're using is fixed at. So in my case, I've set it to f2.8. Now the next thing I do, I know I want to film at around a 50th because I want twice the frame rate of my finished video. So I'm going to produce the video, let's say at 25 frames a second. So I want to film at a shutter speed of a 50th. I also want my ISO low. I want to try and set that to 100. So now if I alter the scales, I try and get to a 50th, set my ISO to 100, and you can see it moves off a little bit. But what I've got to do is play with the ND filter section till I get a value that gives me that 50th of a second. And if I get to ND 64, well, it's coming out at something pretty close to a 50th. So that's what I'd go with on a day like today. It really does take a lot of the guesswork out of it and make it a lot simpler to know which one to choose. Now, what you should do next is have a look at my video that gives you a number of other great apps you can use as a photographer that will help you with things like planning a photo shoot, knowing where the sun's going to rise or set, and those kind of things. I'll leave a link to that here. I look forward to seeing you next time.